stronger. But I do worry, Alice. I mean, sometimes I think...
You're listening to The Bug.
May cause nausea, vomiting and headaches. You're listening to The Bug, the Resistance comedy show brought to you by the Buccaneer Network. I'm Andy, joining me, as always, Alice.
I'm excited to be here. Apparently, the Resistance is not going well.
Again? CCTV is in use in this location.
How are you doing? I hope you don't mind me getting situated in your safe house. Crime marches on, and so will I. There are still cases that need to be closed, if you'll help me.
Of course. Easy peasy.
Excellent. I uploaded a case to Bagley. He can brief you on it.
Clan Kelly's been sending a ton of crypto to an unknown party in Cairo. Something to do with Kronos X.
What's that? A drug?
It's a highly addictive psychotropic with a staggeringly high fatality rate that stands to make Clan Kelly a lot of money.
Yes, and the body count will be staggering.
Well, the phrase Finsbury New Project keeps popping up in their comms, if you'd like to take a look into it.
Hi, how are you?
Doing pretty good today. DedSec really isn't half bad. Might even say we're half good. And I don't say that about anything.
Would you say we've peaked?
No, I hope it's just the beginning. And I hope I live to see more of it. Good thing we got DedSec International too. The world needs people willing to take out the trash.
Oh, really?
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I can't stop thinking about Sky's AI lab.
Yeah.
Killing people, selling their minds, murdering her mother? Christ.
It's worse than that. All of the people she mind-mapped are still in there. Every AI she has made is one of her victims, unable to escape, sleep, or even die. They are digital slaves. Forever.
Good Lord. It's utterly unforgivable.
If that ever happens to me, promise you will kill me.
We're recruiting cops now? Are you sure that's a good idea? I mean, aren't we usually on the other side?
Traditionally, working with cops is a mistake, but this Caitlin Lau is not a typical specimen.
All cops are the same. Don't be fooled.
Let's not write her off just yet. She's not Albion. She may surprise you.
Fine. But the first sign of a double cross from her, I'm out.
Lovely, isn't it?
Pardon?
Making a difference, I mean. Someone came up to me while I was investigating Clan Kelly and shook my hand. Thanked me for my service. Gave me their number, too. I love it.
How wonderful. But we still have a long way to go.
Of course, I know. But don't let that stop you from savoring the flavoring.
Why does this always happen? You'll see what
It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by Democrats all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep you scrolling, keep you listening, keep you looking for more information. The second is that that kind of environment favors sensationalism. And so you got more sensational headlines and more sensational stories, and it didn't matter whether they were true or not. It just kept people in, and it kept them in the loop. So we ended up in a situation where nobody trusted anything, and nobody believed anything at all. And that is the perfect environment for an authoritarian voice to come in and say, no, wait, we are the truth.
I've taken the liberty of perusing the shipping manifests. Clan Kelly took possession of 3 crates originating from Cairo.
Loaded with Kronos X, I expect. All right, time to crash this Kelly trafficking party. I'm absolutely craving destruction right now.
About that, the crates have some kind of trap mechanism that releases nerve gas when tampered with. Surprisingly creative security measure. Normally they rely on burly lads with sacks of doorknobs.
I've never done nerve gas. I'm joking. I'll destroy the crates without physically touching them. All right.
That's the lot. That'll make the streets marginally cleaner. Get out of there. Well, the supply is taken care of, but the supply line is still functional.
I can help with that. Clan Kelly gets their Kronos X out of Cairo through a broker. Abby Tran. I found out through an informant that she accompanied the latest shipment.
Then we might be able to find her at the shipyard.
We need to keep that rubbish off the streets.
This is the shipyard where Clan Kelly received the Kronos X. Time to find Abby Tran and make sure she doesn't broker any more deals.
I've looked into this drug. It was developed for the military. In low doses, it heightens reflexes, lowers response times, turns soldiers into killing machines.
Sounds like Clan Kelly wasn't going to put it all on the streets. Maybe use it to sharpen up their thugs.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Cash,
Right,
and
God.
Buckingham. Your source for what's very This time is turning our focus.
Government officials.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers.
You should be able to find Abby Tran somewhere nearby.
Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national state propaganda?
Time to put an end to Abby Tran's dealings with Clan Kelly. Take her out.
Nothing here. I'll check another area. You wanna slap, huh?
Damn it! They're gone!
Well, Abby Tran won't be brokering any drug shipments in that state.
Great work. Kronos X was on the verge of becoming a huge problem. You've saved lives by keeping it off the streets.
And we hurt Clan Kelly by hurting their drug trade. Not bad at all.
We're not done by a long shot. But this is a step in the right direction.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep you scrolling or keep you listening, keep you looking for more information. The second is that that kind of environment favors sensationalism. And so you got more sensational headlines.